Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So yesterday I gave you guys two different plays, and I did say that the Athletics were a huge risk. Sure enough, they ended up losing the game 9-3 or 9-4 or something like that. We took them at a plus 1.5, trying to get that extra risk off of there, but that was not enough to cover the loss. I did give you guys the Pirates. Even in the comments, some people were saying, I can't believe like they're going with the Pirates, but everything pointed in their favor. They did win 11-7. In the middle of the game, they came back and they ended up winning, pretty much stretched out the win at the end. In this video, I'm going to go through very quickly of the process that I go through to get these games. There's 5 different games that I'm looking at in today's slate, and I'm going to give you guys for sure on one of them. I'll give you the one player also. I'm going to skip that one player because it's so heavily juiced, and I'll tell you why I'm skipping him. But he should be very easy to get one hit. I'm going to give you that player. I'm also going to give you the very strong team that I'm looking at, and I'm going to break that game down. Plus, I'm going to give you guys the other 4 teams that I'm looking at. If you want to know exactly how I'm playing every one of these, go to the link in the description, click on VIP. And also, if you have not gotten the free picks, go to the link in the description, click on free picks. So again, this was an 8-2 run in the last 4 days on the free picks. If you're snoozing on these free picks, make sure you go to the link in the description and click on free picks. Like I said, the Pirates came back, ended up winning 11-7 on a breakdown from the bullpen. These guys had a chance to win, but then the bullpen broke down, and the Pirates ended up taking advantage of that. Now, very quickly, I did say that the Dodgers was a very high risk for the Athletics. I took them at a plus 1.5, trying to see if they can somehow pull out that win. The line movement was very good. Also, Gage Jump is actually a very good pitcher, but he got rocked. So not only that, but they had a bunch of home runs right here. You can see Shohei Ohtani hit a 3-run homer, Max Muncy, Andy Pages. So all of these guys got home runs, but this guy actually had a 3-run homer. So that alone was 5 runs. That was enough to take over the game at that point. All right, guys. So the first thing I want to show you is the 5 teams that I'm looking at. I'll just kind of give you the glance on what I'm looking at, but then I will break down one of the games for sure. So right here, we're looking at this thing called the Sharp Edge tool. This is the thing I use every single day. And from here, I'm looking at something called the line move tool. Inside of here is telling us where to take a look. So the Mets, I will not touch them at all, but it's saying that they went from underdog to favorite. Same thing with the Giants. I won't touch them at all, but it went from underdog to favorite. And that's good to know. Now we got the Tigers. The Yankees said that it went from underdog to favorite. The Rays went from underdog to favorite, and so on. I'm not going to go through every one of these, but it's telling you where you should be taking a look. For example, White Sox, Phillies, Rays, Dodgers, and so on. So this gives you a full breakdown of where the sports books are adjusting their lines to based on the bet percentages and the money percentages and the difference between both of those things. So this is a very powerful tool. This is one of the first tools that I ever built, and it's still powerful to this day. Now that we have an idea of what teams we're looking at, I want to go to the Sharp Line Monitor. And you can see right here, I'm just basically taking a look to see where the line is shifting to, if it's still going in their favor, and if it is, how strong, and things like that. So for example, I'm going to go to this game right here, Phillies and the Pirates. If I click on this, it'll tell us that it shows us here that the line shifted from a 213 to a 237. So that is a huge line move. That is, what is that, 24 cents on the Phillies. So the line is moving dramatically in the Phillies' favor. The other one that stood out, it's actually going in the Tigers' favor. You can see they started as pretty heavy underdogs at a plus 124, and they're currently still underdogs at a plus 115. One thing to note about the Yankees, the line is going against them, plus they've lost five games in a row. I know a lot of people are talking about the Tigers today, the people that I follow, the people that I talk to. I don't know if I'm gonna take that or not. I'm not decided on that. That's actually not even one of the teams that I'm looking at. But you should consider them if you're paying attention to this game. The Rays is another team that I'm looking at. You can see it started at a 118 and it went to a 127. I'm still looking at all the data if I'm going to take this or not, but I do like the Rays in this position. Again, if you want the final plays, go to the link in the description and click on VIP. If you click on the 1-day pass or the 1-week pass, in the 1 week you put in Beast Week, you get 50% off for that. The other one that came up, which I'm not touching at all, you can see the line is still shifting in their favor from this morning. It went from, for the Mariners, 167 to a 176. I'm not touching this game, but the line is shifting ever since yesterday, has not stopped shifting in their favor. And the other one here is the Dodgers. They went from a 143 to a 160. All right, so once we have an idea of exactly which teams the line is shifting towards and what's going on with the line movement, the betting percentages, the money percentages, then we want to get into the projections. So in the projections, it says that the Baltimore Orioles should win, Phillies should win, Rangers should win. That's actually another team that I'm looking at, is the Rangers. We got the Yankees to win. Braves are supposed to win. Brewers, Rays, Cubs, Marlins, Dodgers, and Diamondbacks. So you can see there's already some contradictions here based on the projections and the line movements. So once things start lining up, then that's when we take a deeper look into each one of these games. So now the three teams that I want to be looking at is going to be the Rays, the Phillies, and the Dodgers. I'm going to give you guys the breakdown of exactly why I'm taking the Phillies, and I'll tell you exactly how I'm playing them because they are pretty heavy on the odds. They're super expensive today, so I'll tell you exactly how I'm playing that. Now, once we go into the convergence tool, you can see all of this kind of converges, and it tells you the White Sox, the line move in their favor, but nothing is kind of standard going towards one way. You can see Baltimore, it's 3 of 3 aligned, 3 opposed, and 0 reads. Now, on the Phillies side, the team that I do like for today, you can see a move 23 cents, 70% win probability. Expert insights say Phillies. The only one thing that does suck right here is that the OPS for the Pirates are number 2. So they're getting on base a lot, but these guys are no bums either. They're number 13. Also, I took a look at the pitching, and like I said, I'm going to break this game down, but the pitching is much better on the Philly side as well. So we also say over here, the sports books are saying that Phillies should be scoring 5 runs compared to Pirates to score 4 runs. The other one, that the reason I'm staying away from the Tigers, you can clearly see right here, the win probabilities all over the Yankees, the deep researches on the Yankees, the deep expert insights, and the projected runs. Overall, everything is pointing towards the Yankees, even though they've lost 5 games in a row. And there's too many contradictions. When it's too many contradictions like that, that's why I skip it. The other one I was looking at is the Rays. You can see the line move, win probability, the OPS, the projected runs, and the Dodgers. Same thing, line move, win probability, OPS, and projected runs. And look at this, Rangers is one of the best ones on the board. I have not chosen if I'm going to go with the Rangers or the Rays. I'm still going to do deeper research on that. But these are the teams that are popping out as of right now. Because of the line movement and everything else that I'm showing you here on this one screen. So again, this type of tool right here took me forever to build, but it's super powerful because now it's showing me in one screen everything that I need to know about every one of the games that I want to pay attention to. If you guys have not gotten access to this tool, go to the Sharp Edge. The link is in the description for that. 7 days for free. The one player I did mention that I was going to show you, but I'm skipping, is Otto Lopez. They're playing in Colorado, so the number is inflated big time. So if we go against the pitcher against him is Gordon, and you can see he's got a horrible ERA over here. He's pitched 35 innings, and yet they've rocked the shit out of him. And if we go over here to the overall odds, this is the reason I'm skipping it. You can see how heavily these odds are. For Fanatics, is the cheapest one is 525. It goes to Sleeper all the way to minus 1250. Which is super ridiculous. He is getting a lot of hits, and they are playing in Colorado. But when I see stuff like this, he is almost 95% chance he's going to get a hit, but it's super expensive. Even on a parlay, I would not touch this. If you want access to all the batter props that we look at, these are not the final plays, but these are the players that we take a look at. It's under props. You can see these are all the ones for 1 hits. These are all the ones for under RBIs and then the under stolen bases. All right, guys, if you haven't done so, make sure to subscribe. Check out the free picks. Also, go to the 1 week pass, 1 month pass, 1 day pass. And if you haven't done so, join the Sharp Edge, 7 days for free. The link is in the description for that. Make sure to subscribe to this page. All right, so let me break down this Phillies game. Everything is literally pointing towards the Phillies. It's completely the opposite of yesterday's game. Yesterday's game, I broke that down in detail, and they ended up winning. So now I'm actually going on the opposite side. I'm actually looking at the Phillies because it's a strong, very strong play, one of the strongest plays on the board. So if we look over here, you can see the line did shift from a 213 to a 239. The line is shifting in their favor. They have a 70% chance to win this game. The Pirates in their last 19 games as underdog, and they're heavily underdog today, just not even close. They've only won 6 games as an underdog, so 31% chance that they will win today. If we start going deeper into this, Christopher Sanchez, which is one of their top ace pitchers for the Phillies, is out on the mound. You can see he's an ace pitcher, A+ grade, versus a D grade over here with Bubba Chandler. Now, on the bullpen is also very good for Phillies compared to Pirates. And then the batting analysis, like I showed earlier, even on that other conversion screen page, it does say that the Pirates have been on fire. Right now, they're number 2 compared to number 13 on getting on base in general. So that is one slight risk, but you have to take into consideration they're now facing Christopher Sanchez, which is an ace pitcher. Overall team record and projections, Phillies is just an overall better team. And then, like I showed earlier, these guys are projected to give 5 runs compared to under 4 runs. So actually under 3.5 runs. So the books are giving you the odds to go under 4 runs, meaning 3 runs. And their odds are actually pretty expensive that they're saying that they're not going to score 4 runs. Compare that to the odds over here. They're saying that the Phillies are going to score at least 5 runs. So again, guys, just so you know, I will be looking at the Texas Rangers. I'll be looking at the Rays. I love the Phillies in today's position. It's super heavily juiced. It's over like -250 or something like that. So the way I'm playing the Phillies today is a -1. I was able to get it on DraftKings. I was able to get that for like a -184 for the Phillies at a -1. And what that means is that if they lose the game, then obviously they lose. But even if they win the game, they have to win by 2 runs. If they win by 1 run, I break even. It's a push. But if they end up winning by 2 runs, then that's the win. By the way, I'm also going to take a good look at the Dodgers for that one guy that always says that I always go with the Dodgers. I'm not confirmed that I'm going with them, but I am definitely taking a big look at them because there's a lot of stuff that's pointing towards the Dodgers, the Texas Rangers, the Rays, the Phillies, and the Tigers. But I already told you why I'm skipping the Tigers. All right, guys, thank you so much, man. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers. If you haven't done so, make sure you click on like, comment, subscribe. Also share this with a couple of buddies. Get the free picks. Do not snooze on the free picks. I've been giving away free picks for years, and it's been hitting dramatically, very, very solid lately. So make sure you take advantage of that. Thank you so much. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers. Let's have a great day.